Good morning. Painted the little yellow honeycomb pattern discs, and so then I'm taking some of my new amazing paint. I watered it down, and I've got a little black water slurry. I'll show you that. And so, it's very liquid. Is that gonna fall? Hold on just a second. There we go. A little crooked, but good enough. Alright, so it's really very liquidy. So my anticipation is it's going to just run down into the grooves. Oh, and we'll see what happens. We're doing this together. Let's do it. Oh, Lord. I want this to work. So now my super fancy paint brushes are paying off. Oh. Oh. Oh, maybe I need to water it down just a hair more. I mean, I just barely. Oh, shaky girl. Barely touching it, and it just drops the color. Super groovy. Oi. Oi. Alright. Maybe if I just touch these little corners. I feel like it needs to be maybe watered down just a hair more. It's not running like I had envisioned in my mind. It was like this magical swoosh. Well, that did not go down. And so I thought it was just going to fill in all the cracks. Okay. So now I'm just playing connect the dots. Oh, geez. Okay, wait a minute. I'm going to make this even waterier. And see if that makes a difference. It's definitely runnier. And I was going to wipe it off. So I don't want to wait too long. So let me just do a loose quick. Messy, messy. You gotta shake your hands. Messy, messy. I know, I understand. I have to understand. They're my hands. Oh, but I'm trying so hard. Don't judge a book by its cover. I mean, unless you're literate, then I reckon you ain't got no choice. I can't take credit for that observation. A friend of mine had said that. But it has always struck me as funny. Can't judge a book by its cover unless you're illiterate. That's funny. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to bag on illiterate people. I find that is a hurdle that must be terribly hard to overcome. I don't understand, but not everybody has the same start, childhood. It seems like a dark place where you didn't even learn to read, but you know, let's not get into that too much. Doo-dee-doo-doo. Let's talk about happier. Man, I spent the day with that grandbaby. Ooh, he's so smart. So the first time he got on the playground, he got up top. Boy, he just, boom, whack his head. Walk through it, boom, whack his head. 5-6 times, back to back. Just like a grown man. Just seriously, dude. Look for some signs on the floor. But anyway, he came back today, and he ducked down, and he was walking real, inching along, being so careful. And it was so cute. But he was so smart, he nailed it. Figured it out right fast. That's moving right along. And I have sealed this. So I feel maybe I should wipe it off before I get too deep in this process. Boy, these glasses are no joke. Those are magnifiers. And when you look up, it's an adjustment on your focal point. Okay. Whoo! Let's see what happens. Oh, that wiped off too much. Oh, my goodness. Epic bummer. Okay. Well, dang, y'all. That is not the effect I had. That's not what I envisioned at all. Alright, back to the drawing board in my head for just a minute. Doggone it, man. And it's awful. It's dark. I kind of wish that I'd gone with, and now it just looks junky. Oh, man. Oh, junky. Maybe I wasn't supposed to use black. Maybe I was supposed to use a darker yellow. Right? I don't know. Now this paint's so watered down. Now it's got like some antique look, which is not the effect that I wanted at all. It's not all crisp and sharp and pretty. And man, I was so excited about this. Okay, well, I wanted this to be a more exciting video. So maybe if I just go in like this. Some of the sealers that I have are a lot more forgiving than others, apparently, when it comes to the cleanup, wipe up. So maybe my first coat, I should put something. Oh, well, I don't. This video is not made for kids. Contains bad language. Well, it looked a lot better before I touched it. Boo! Oh, speaking of boo, I went and played candy bar bingo at the clubhouse here at Thousand Trails the other day. And it's like just for like 45 minutes. I went for the snacks, I'll be honest. And I had so much fun. It really was. I was a bunch of kids. There was a couple moms. But I did. It was like a really good time. And I thought how much I appreciated the old Thousand Trails. What they're trying to do and put together for everybody. I talked to the lady from the company here yesterday, and she was really groovy and nice and friendly, helpful, informative. So that was all cool. I like this package. We're going to renew it. I'm probably going to do it with her as a sales rep. She really took the time to connect personally. I mean, all of them do, but yeah, she was like real charming. This does not look like what I wanted it to look like at all. I don't like it. Oh. My grooves aren't deep enough. My hands are shaking. Boy, I tell you what, this little paintbrush, though, talk about just going and going and going. I am so impressed. It carries a wide load. Oh, that does not look good, y'all. Huh. I wonder. Oh, jeez. I don't know. Let me think about this for a minute. Alright. Take one. Epic failure. Honeycomb pattern. To be continued. Okay, so took the watered down paint. I'm going to use the sponge brush. I'm going to wipe it all over and wipe it off. Let's see how it goes. That's not what I expected at freaking all. Okay. Well, that actually worked out better. Way more uniform on the saturation in the recesses. I think that works. Okay. I think that's a little thick right there.
You need a clean paper towel?
Well, it is clean. Oh, you press too hard, you get in the grooves, and you get the paintbrush strokes that light, because it's black, so it's really showing up. So now, maybe what I'll do is take my sponge brush and go over it with yellow and try it, because the recesses are still dark. And if I get it barely, I realize that if you get it barely any paint on your sponge, it might work. Alright, let's try it. It's all a learning curve. Alright. We're done. Yellow, go. Here we go. Yellow. Yellow. And I do want some water on it. Oh, the water's dark. That's okay. That was way too much paint. I just barely want to saturate this sponge. Like to the nothing degree. I don't really want much excess on there. Huh. Well, the black definitely stayed in the recesses quite nicely. So that's where we're at so far. It's definitely a dark right here, which I don't want it to be as dark. Oh, that's not too bad, Brian. What do you think? Can I get some gloss on it? Or is that terrible?
That looks great.
So, I'm not just wild about it. It's not as even and uniform as I want. But the sponge white is the way to go. Boy, not as crazy about that as I'd want it to be. I envisioned a much different result, to be honest with you. So maybe what I should have done is sealed it, painted it black, wiped it off, and then went over it with the yellow. You think maybe that's what I should have done?
Just let it dry now.
Let it dry. So, what do you think, you guys? That's where we ended up with. Interesting. Okay. So, leave that one alone. Now, I've got the same thing to do again, but it's got a little bee right there to decorate. So, I'm going to try not to get too wild with that little bee. And these sponges are way different of a brush to work with. They hold so much freaking moisture. Yeah, I'm saturating a big old wad of paper towels to dry it out. Whereas with the paintbrush, it's just a little doot doot and it's dry. And no little doot doots to his. Doot doot. Alright. 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 So, put on the magnifying glasses. Oh, the baby put these on yesterday and his eyes got so big. He's like, whoa. But yeah, Grandma can't see. Alright. Because I am not going to come over here with the sponge. Because I do not want... I don't know how that's going to dry. We'll see. I do not want all the paint brush strokes. I'm still not a master at a flawless surface. And I can see texture. It'll just highlight the crud out of it. So I don't want to do that. So, okay. I'm going to go in. Get that in those recesses. Okay. And then I'm going to go through and get rid of that excess. I say it like I know what I'm doing. As a professional, this is the steps that I would be taking. Oh, not impressed. Craptacular, y'all. It was so pretty. And now it is not. Alright, nope. Nope. No. Alright. No. Oh my gosh. I got the sponge. The sponge is killing me. It's so wet. I can't. Big old man. A great big old man. Man. Alright. And these grooves aren't as deep as the ones on the bigger one, but I don't want to do the bigger one until I figure this out a little bit. God, these little brushes clean so easy. Look, doot, 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 clean. The sponge, it ruins like 8 cups of water trying to get it rinsed out once. So, man, that looks terrible. Wow. Well, it just gets worse and worse. Every time I touch it, it gets a hair worse. This is what I'm working with. Ugh. Okay. Okay. It's not the end of the world. For the love of goodness. Let's get your fancy, expensive paintbrush out. Alright. The sponge is annoying to work with. But... what do they call it? Bespoke? Where it's all vintaged and beat up looking. Broken. Used. I wanted this to look all fresh and clean and brandy new. I wasn't really going for antiquing. Anyway. I love the finish that it gives with the no brush strokes. However, when it comes to some of the things, it's really not the applicator of choice. But like Brian was saying, you'll find that this brush you like for this application and that for that one and blah blah blah, and that's very, very true. And good brushes, boy, I tell you, there's really no substitute for good brush, I'm finding. Well, maybe people will like that. You don't know how to paint stuff. Look. You just started, it ain't that great vibe. Maybe that's a real popular thing these days. God dang it. God dang it. And of course it's black, so it's not like one little tiny drop is going to be the least bit forgiving, is what I'm finding. Oh my gosh, this does not look good. I should have just sealed it. It was so pretty. Just paint the little bee. Oh, well, maybe somebody's going to like that vintage. You don't know how to paint stuff vibe. Yeah. I mean, it looks okay, decent from a distance. I'm going to have to wait till it dries to go back and touch up the side. I can sand, actually, but I don't want to sand too much because it's a raised pattern. Well, you know, maybe just like 3 or 4 more coats lightly like this. That black's coming through. You gotta worry about that. And that's really lightening up the tops of those honeycombs. Which, number 1, was a big part I wanted to happen. And number 2, soften up that black. It's too harsh. I gotta figure it out because I found that people were very drawn to the honeycomb pattern. God, I'm not a painter. Okay, that's actually getting better. It's actually getting better. It's not as terrible as it was at first. It's these sides. I'm going to wait. It's super dry. I might have to go through and lightly sand the edges and then redo them because of the black. It's just out of control. So now I don't want to mess up these big ones. I don't want to move too quick. Ooh. Okay, I gotta sit and think. And I love these quality brushes. Look at that. You can rinse them off in not even great water and nothing sticks to them. But that bugs me. I like to rinse them in super clean water. I'm gonna go wash all my brushes. Sit back and look at paint dry and think.